Welcome back to the Explanation Pro. Today I'll recap a sci-fi, action film called Iron Sky: The Coming Race. Spoilers incoming. The movie begins with the start of a nuclear war on planet Earth, which is the day the Moon Nazis attacked the Earth. The President of America is being evacuated, where she enters a cold region and comes inside a seemingly abandoned place. The President's hand starts to shapeshift into monster-like features, then she uses it to open an entrance to the underground. The nuclear war leads to the end of the planet Earth, with the last remaining humans fleeing to the dark side of the moon and living with the rest of the Moon Nazis. O.B. Washington, who is Renata Richter and James Washington's daughter, sees the commotion going on wherein an unknown oval ship from the Earth is heading towards their moon base. O.B. and the others are confused as to how the oval ship can open their moon base hatch due to having an override signal connected to their base, and Renata refuses to let the ship in, but O.B. disagrees. O.B. runs towards the nearest electrical box and turns off the power to the main station so that Renata and the others will not fire at the oval ship. O.B. quickly runs towards the hangar, and as the power goes back, Renata sees her daughter, and so she takes back her word and aborts the command to open fire at the oval ship. O.B. enters a crane in the hangar and operates it. As the oval ship enters, it lands on a helipad which suddenly falls due to the ship's weight. O.B. then uses the crane to catch the ship on time before it can completely fall, and O.B. saves the people inside it. People from the ship who came from Russia start to go outside of their ship, but they are all greeted by soldiers with guns pointing at them. Renata explains to them that they cannot receive them in the moon base since they barely have enough food and supplies for their people, so she orders to temporarily put them in the storage room as she thinks of how to handle them. The moon base is a huge mess, with O.B. fixing almost everything to keep the people safe during moonquakes and to attend to their needs. As most of the population suffers from such a place, there is a small group of people that lives in a better condition. This group of people is called the Jobsist, who worships technology with Steve Jobs being their god. While a prayer is being held, Donald, who is the leader of the Jobsist, notices a member who has made unauthorized changes to his phone. Donald calls out the individual and terminates him into tiny atoms, which they call the IEX communicate. O.B. sees all of what had happened and is shocked to know how Donald can easily blow someone up for not following his rules, so she uses a hammer to break their glass door and enter their premises. Donald tries to argue with O.B., but O.B. quickly finishes off their argument by threatening to change the Wi-Fi password. O.B. then sees her mother, who is coughing, and she rushes towards her side and tells her that ever since her dad died, she had always been the one taking care of everybody. Donald offers a handkerchief to Renata, but O.B. still reacts with a fierce attitude towards Donald. Malcolm, one of the moon base guards, comes to hand Renata her handkerchief with bloodstains and praises O.B. for her bravery in saving the Russians in the oval ship. After a while, O.B. continues to work on her ship named Amelia, which is the last interplanetary spacecraft. She uses helium-3 to try and power up its engines, but it unfortunately fails. O.B. then goes on the oval ship to study its parts, when she suddenly sees a cloaked person going outside of the ship. She rushes to follow the man and finally enters a room where the cloaked man knocks her cold in the head. With a minor head injury, O.B. wakes up and sees the cloaked man rummaging through the office. The cloaked man then sees the chocolate-like food wrapped in gold foil and eats it, wherein O.B. sees the man's face light up as he is consuming the unknown food. O.B. talks back at the man, to which the man shows himself and is actually dictator Wolfgang Kurzfleisch. O.B. is shocked to see him in front of her, knowing that her mom saw dictator Kurzfleisch die. Dictator Kurzfleisch then gives the unknown food to O.B. so that her mother can feel well. O.B. rushes to her mother and gives her the unknown food, wherein Renata's face lights up and she instantly becomes young again. A shocked O.B. goes back to Kurzfleisch, but Donald sees everything that had happened and follows O.B. Demanding an explanation from Kurzfleisch, O.B. frees Kurzfleisch and he explains that what Renata had eaten is called a vril-ya, which is pure energy. He also adds that they are immortal beings that had found planet Earth way before humans existed. They had studied the life forms on Earth, but Kurzfleisch gave the unknown food to primates that eventually led to the evolution of humans. Kurzfleisch shows a map to the center of the Earth where O.B. can find the Holy Grail that can save her mother and power her ship, and he also gives O.B. his severed finger. All of this is captured by Donald, who is eavesdropping by the door. O.B. then sets out to go to the center of the Earth with Sasha, the Russian who made the oval ship, when Donald and his subordinates stop them in their tracks and Donald offers to come with them, to which Obi accepts. As they were near the oval ship, they come upon Malcolm, who also comes along with them on their journey, and Obi needing his muscles along the way. So far, their flight to Earth is smoothly sailing, not until Obi pulls the wrong lever that crashes their ship. Their rough landing leads to them falling through the cracks and into the center of the Earth. Seeing where they are, the environment surprises them since the place looks like a paradise. The group continues with their journey using the Nokia 3310 as their compass, but along the way, Obi seems to lose track as to where they are heading even though she has a map and a compass. Sasha then looks at the map and realizes that they are lost because the compass mirrors the Earth, meaning that the directions are also the opposite. In the legendary city of Agartha, which is at the center of the Earth and with the Vril Ya also located in the center of it, a room is filled with known individuals who are shape-shifting Vrils, like Mark Zuckerberg and the President of America herself. The President of America criticizes the other Vrils on what they had done on Earth, when Adolf Hitler, the President Vril, suddenly barges in the room and criticizes the President of America and how she created the nuclear war that made the world a toxic mess. Meanwhile, Obi's group stops by a nearby shop since the place is lurking with Vrils. The Jobsists suddenly see a person who looks like Steve Jobs, so they hurriedly go to him and bow down to their god. Seeing their actions, Obi, Sasha, and Malcolm run away from the scene but are still caught in the way by the Vrils. Obi sees an escape route, but Malcolm tells them that he will buy them some time by holding off the Vrils, where Malcolm fights with two dinosaurs. Obi and Sasha see the Jobsists and a beaten-up Malcolm being taken away by the Vrils, and having no choice, they continue with their mission by kidnapping Vrils and dressing like one. Malcolm and the Jobsists are brought to President Vril, where he orders them to be terminated, and Donald abruptly offers a business proposal to President Vril to save their lives. On the other hand, Obi and Sasha reach the center where the Holy Grail is located, but they struggle to know how to open the door until Sasha looks at the map again and sees that a finger is needed to open the door. Obi suddenly remembers the finger that Kurzfleisch had given to her and they use it to successfully open the door. At the same time, Donald shows a picture of President Vril's brother, Kurzfleisch. In exchange for Kurzfleisch's location, President Vril must bring the other Jobsists safely to the city of Agartha and President Vril agrees. Donald shows to them Kurzfleisch's location and being the unkind ruler that he is, President Vril orders the other Vrils to eat the Jobsists. Upon seeing the Holy Grail in front of them, Obi removes her Vril armor and climbs to the top, where she takes the Holy Grail, and her action triggers a self-destruction mechanism in the place. Back at President Vril's place, the Steve Jobs Vril and the others are done devouring the Jobsists, but they leave Malcolm to eat at the end. Malcolm successfully frees himself from his chains and attacks the Steve Jobs Vril and the others. Malcolm escapes from the Vrils and runs away to get back with Obi and Sasha. As Obi and Sasha are escaping, the sun-like object above them starts to fall and roll towards them. Obi sees a chariot with a Triceratops dinosaur for both of them to use, and they quickly escape from the other Vrils. Malcolm also catches up with them and hops onto Sasha's chariot, where they avoid the Vril's attack on them and eventually see the other Vrils be devoured by the ball of sun. As Obi and her friends are about to cross a bridge, the ball of sun rolls above them and destroys a part of the bridge. Obi then jumps with her chariot and successfully reaches the other side of the bridge. The same goes for her friends, who barely survive their jump across the bridge. The team flies back to the moon, but President Vril, who is on his spaceship, is behind them to go to the moon as well to kill his brother. The moon folks and Renata comes to see Obi, and Renata hugs her daughter as she praises her bravery. Kurzfleisch rushes to meet Obi and asks for the Holy Grail, but Obi refuses to give him the Holy Grail, so Kurzfleisch uses Renata as a hostage and shoots at Malcolm and Sasha. Suddenly, President Vril, who is riding on a dinosaur, invades their moon base and wreaks havoc by taking innocent lives. While Obi and the others are running from President Vril, Kurzfleisch attempts to shoot at his brother, but President Vril's dinosaur swiftly uses its tail to hit Kurzfleisch. Obi then instructs Sasha to prepare the ship and Malcolm to evacuate the moon people. Renata chooses to stay and stop President Vril, so she drinks the Holy Grail, where the pure energy gives her great strength to finally kill President Vril. While Obi and Malcolm are busy evacuating the moon people, Sasha asks Obi to trust and allow him to power up the ship's machine by putting the Holy Grail. Obi hesitates at first, but she eventually gives it to Sasha, where he successfully powers up the ship. As Renata is about to go to the ship, Quartzfleisch shows up beside her and fires a gun at her. Obi sees her mother being killed by Quartzfleisch and is heartbroken by losing her. Malcolm and Sasha pull Obi into the ship, where Obi, with tears on her face, operates the ship and successfully travels it into space. Their celebration comes to a halt when Quartzfleisch shows up on their screen and is actually on his spaceship, opening fire at them. Obi and the others are baffled by Quartzfleisch's sudden attack, but they can only avoid the enemy's attack since their ship has no weapons. Obi is then puzzled by how Quartzfleisch can contact them until Quartzfleisch shows them that he has one of Donald's phones. Obi thinks of a way to enter Donald's cellular communications through Sasha's Nokia 3310 phone, to which they successfully hack it and they excommunicated Quartzfleisch. Quartzfleisch explodes into atom-like particles which lead to his death and his ship's wreckage. As their aircraft is smooth sailing in space, the Moon people are celebrating their victory against Quartzfleisch and surviving throughout the disasters. Obi sees a low-spirited Sasha and tries to ask what his problem is, to which Sasha replies that he is no match to Malcolm, who has great stories to tell. Obi comforts him by praising his ship and laughs at his quirkiness in creating it. As Obi leaves, Malcolm then comes to Sasha and tells him that Obi likes him, but Sasha thought that it was the other way around, and Malcolm explains that he actually likes guys. Sasha then tells Malcolm that he is an open-minded person, but Malcolm suddenly chokes to death because he is allergic to what he had eaten. Obi and Sasha attend Renata and Malcolm's funeral, but as Malcolm's coffin is about to be let out into space, Malcolm opens his coffin and is still alive. Malcolm tells them that his body shuts down once in a while. That is why his mother had buried him several times in his childhood. The movie ends with Obi and Sasha seating by the window and finally kissing each other to express their love for one another. Their ship continuously flies through space to their destination on Mars, where there is an unknown Soviet Union base. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe my channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.